We'll take questions. Any questions here? Yes, ma'am.
I know you all have been arguing, mainly Congressman Biggs, that it's a misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. Of course, some are arguing, though, that this is a change to the U.S. Constitution. So can you just detail what's changed over the years in order to warrant this action?
Are you talking about over how it's morphed into what it's become today, right?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'm not a lawyer. Andy is, but I will say this. A person in the United States illegally are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, because that's what the 14th Amendment says. They got no Social Security number. They got no voter registration, no jury duty. A lot of them are living in sanctuary cities. And by that very definition, they are exempt from the jurisdiction thereof of the United States government. And so the whole thing is a sham. It has been misused. It has been misinterpreted. And quite frankly, it is a joke how this thing has evolved over the last 150 years. Now, if you could give us, maybe, Andy, if you want to give maybe a more legalese. I'm a dentist. Okay, I get to the root of problems. He can talk about that, I guess, as an attorney.
I'll just talk briefly rather than give a whole summation. But I will tell you this: I do believe the U.S. Supreme Court, when this gets there, because this will be litigated, I believe, and when it gets there, the U.S. Supreme Court is going to take a rationale somewhat similar to what I iterated earlier today, and that is, for instance, in the 1924 Indian Citizenship Act. Why did you have to do that? It's because the lawmakers of the time believed that you didn't have sovereignty. That was a sovereign, independent, sovereign nation that the nations were. So there was no loyalty, which meant there was no jurisdiction thereof. So the term subject to the jurisdiction thereof actually had a meaning more than just saying that you're subject to be prosecuted or get voting rights, etc. It meant that you had developed a loyalty to the country. And so that was very, very different. And so when we talk about misinterpretation, the case that I was citing in the late 1800s of the Wong Kim Ark case, don't forget what they really said is you got to be permanent, you got to be legal in order to get birthright citizenship. The Roosevelt administration under FDR, they're the ones that actually kind of bastardized that and kind of expanded that. And so that's why I believe ultimately, and I'm predicting and forecasting that when this gets to the U.S. Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court's going to rule that this particular piece of legislation is constitutional.